Portugal is a remote country. Its continental side is sealed by the big neighbor Spain, and it faces the endless Atlantic Ocean. Its geographic remoteness is also mirrored in the soul of its inhabitants. While mentioning any other country, we can list a dozen characteristics, but we can hardly find anything to say about Portugal. As a heritage of the past, we still think of famous sailors, discoverers, and colonizers. The Portuguese themselves like to ponder on their glorious past, though the country is flourishing once again. Its borders have not been changed for 800 years. After joining the European Union, economic life and tourism picked up. More and more people discovered the coastal region of Algarve, where the beach season is from May to October. This 5.5 thousand square meter, 40-kilometer wide coastal strip, the former West Andalusia, is a direct continuation of the Spanish coast, with the same geographic and climatic advantages as Costa del Sol. What is it that makes it more special? It's the capricious rock formations which lend its unique romantic characteristic. Faro, the capital of Algarve, is the borderline. To the east, towards Spain, the coast is flat and sandy. To the west, it's more and more structured and scalloped, abundant in curved rocks and lagoons. These lend it its unique romantic character. A landscape with gently sloping, mild hills greets visitors to the inland. Faro has the only international airport of the region. It's worth renting a car here to roam through the corner of Europe. Even in prehistoric times, this settlement was a fishing village and port. In Roman times, it became an administrative center by the name of Osanoba. The widespread ruins of this can be found 10 kilometers from the present city center, next to Estoy. Its main sites are the basilica and the ruins of the baths, destructed by an earthquake. The medieval Faro was burned by the Count of Essex and devastated by an earthquake in 1755. 1 year later, the village, rising like the phoenix, became the capital of Algarve, its most beautiful buildings originating from that time period. The center of the city is Francisco Gomez Square. Behind it, there's a small internal lake. To the right, the old town can be found. The bishop for whom it was named had the village rebuilt in the 19th century. This is how he earned the nice statue standing in the gate of the old town, accompanied by St. Thomas Aquinas, the patron saint of Faro. The walls and gates of the old town were built using ruins from medieval and other times. The episcopal palace still fulfills its original function, so it's not open for visitors. However, we must see Say, which was built in the place of a mosque. This was the first Christian church of the region, which survived both the attack of the Britons and the earthquake. But it's true that it's somewhat eclectic due to the many reconstructions. This, however, does not reduce the virtues of the most famous organ of the country. The instrument, decorated with Chinese patterns, even has a pipe imitating the sound of a lark. The most famous artists of Europe have played this instrument. The City Museum exhibits the findings of the excavations of the neighborhood, while in the Museo Maritimo, we can see the history of sailing. Dom Fray Amador Arre wrote the following: "For thousands of years, the frightful and great ocean, in its injured pride, did not let people see into the secrets, for all the time it swaggered with wild storms and furious winds, and offered a final resting place for many noble and brave men in the depth of its frightening waters. But at last, the Portuguese gained victory over it." The three old churches of Faro are rich in azulejo decorations. This is the name of the exceptionally characteristic Portuguese painted tile work, its first artist having been Jorge Baradas. Grand castles, palaces, public buildings, and churches are often decorated with painted tile work, which cannot deny their Spanish, Moorish origins. Many fishermen live in the villages near Faro, looking for bait in the wetlands and swamps.